What's happening, you guys? Happy Wednesday. This is my first ever Christel Crawford show on YouTube. I'm trying to get my microphone so it doesn't like drag my shirt into the gutter. I see two of you. So we are gonna start doing this show on YouTube Live because Facebook Live isn't letting me do the horizontal videos. So fuck them. I'm gonna come over here. So, welcome to the Christel Crawford Show. I call this week's show Coronavirus Tools for Anybody, Anytime, Any Life, something like that. And I wanted to talk to you a bit today about what's happening and some of the access tools that I'm just using consciously, like easily, that's making this thing a lot easier. And if you guys have any questions or you're live with me now or even in the future, if you're watching this in the future, hi Leah. And you have questions, you can put them in the comments because I'm pretty good about responding to the comments. The first thing I want to say is that I do have a clearing loop and a PDF of tools that I'm using if you are interested in that. So that clearing loop is really good. It covers so much more of even a broader spectrum than just the virus itself. But if you want to create yourself into the energy, space, and consciousness that actually out-creates this thing, that clearing loop is awesome. Hi, Trevor. So everybody's talking about this. I don't know if you guys have noticed. The primary thing that I want to address, like right off the top, is that when hi Linda, yeah, if you guys are here, like let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. That'd be so awesome. Unlike Facebook, it only shows me you when you comment. Oh, you got a phone screen notification. Oh, I'm so glad. Hi, Mike. Okay, cool. Did you guys know that we are aware? Have you ever heard anybody talk about the fact that we are aware? Tacoma, that's amazing. So I'm one of those people when it comes to like pandemics and like demons and anything that anybody else would take very seriously. Oh, you guys are both watching. I'm so glad you guys are here. I see your comments. Don't stop them. I'm just going to keep talking so that you guys can actually get some great content here. I'm so excited. So I had a moment I'm one of those people with all this stuff that doesn't take any of this shit very seriously. I don't take much of anything very seriously. The one thing that you're going to find me all up in arms about is going to be like somebody abusing somebody else, and then you're just going to get killed. That's pretty much my point of view. But everything else, I'm just kind of like, So with this starting to spread and the talk of pandemic and all this stuff, I was really like, just never mind in my own world. But one of the things that occurred for me last week, I had a very, very, very intense week last week, and actually for the last 2 weeks. And when we talk about you being aware, I don't think any of us really have a sense of what the fuck that means or the scope to which we're aware until we do. And I really, really didn't get it until like last week in a different way. And I sort of get it in different ways all the time, but last week it hit me again. Because for the last 2 weeks, I've really felt like taking everything apart. Like I've just wanted, I had a full month of travel scheduled to 4 different countries. I had things going on, like my live classes were starting to boom all around the world. And I was more than I've ever felt before. I wanted to just like take my whole business apart, like create a whole different arm and drop everything I'd been doing and start something new. And so it was just super, super, super intense. And there are going to be some really exciting new changes. I'm moving away from email almost completely. I'm still going to gather your emails so that if, God forbid, we ever lose our social media platforms, we at least have a way to stay in touch. But you know, we're gonna move away from email in the business. We're gonna get into like me contributing to you once a day and sort of you getting a notification on your phone when things are there that you could play in. I've got an incredible business coaching, 5-second business coaching chat that's just started. I'm gonna start a whole new branding and marketing business that you can start to participate in if you want your business to be more clear and be more accessible. So there's lots of new things coming. But I'm telling you all this for a reason, because it was intense, intense, intense. I just felt like crushing everything, firing everybody, starting fresh. And 2 days ago, Access Consciousness, which is the body that we all play in, announced that we as facilitators could facilitate online foundations. So I have an online foundation that you can play in now too, April 17th through the 20th. But it was so wild because when they announced that, what happened was this space that hadn't been there for weeks opened up. Like, it was like everything that I would create just went thud. Every class I would create would go thud. Everything would go thud. And what happens when we are aware of what's coming, or we are aware of the future? Things that we think should work don't tend to work in the same way. And that's the reason I'm having this conversation. And what we tend to do, that I definitely did, is we go into judgment of what we're aware of. So like if you're in a business and you're doing all these ideas and they're going thud and it's leading up to a future where there's a worldwide pandemic, you could easily go into judgment of what you're aware of and think, oh, well, this business just isn't working anymore. The market's changed. I just have to change everything. Instead of just going, I wonder what I'm aware of. 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 And just staying present until it's time for something to like work, you know? And so I went into a fair bit of judgment about what I was aware of and decided that it was about my business being shit. And then when this announcement came and the whole energy shifted in everybody's world, my whole team and I talked about it. It was such a fucking eye-opener of how aware we actually are. And if you are feeling more scared than normal, if you are picking up on everybody's anxiety, if you are feeling heavier than you normally do, if you are having all these, if you are fighting with your partner more than normal, if anything that's going on in your body right now is abnormally intense, please, please, please ask yourself, who does this belong to? Me or someone else? Me or someone else? And do your very, very best to not go into judgment of what you're aware of and try to figure out what it is or why you're feeling that way. Now, I consider myself pretty good with the tools, but I still have these moments where I'm not that good. Like, I go into judgment of what I'm aware of. I start trouble when there's no trouble to be started. And so that's really easy to do at a time like this. So the tool is, who does this belong to for every fucking sensation in your body? The heavy, especially anything that's not space and not ease and not joy, is not you. And I need to be reminded of that more than ever, especially in times like this, especially when you've got a global thing going on. And I want to attach to that conversation, like, there is so much happening right now. Like, entire industries are going to shift. Just today in Canada, they announced that, restaurants would have to be closed for at least 2 weeks, over the next 2 weeks. And I used to own a restaurant, actually. I've been in the restaurant industry for almost 20 years, and I owned a pizzeria right here in Ontario. I will get you the link. Yeah, if any of you guys want the link for my coronavirus clearing loop and the PDF, just make a comment and I'll post a link to you right after this live. I owned a restaurant for 3 years. And if we had been told that we had to be closed for 2 weeks, we would have closed our doors. 2 weeks without revenue would have closed us. When we ask, who does this belong to, do we say return to sender until it gets lighter? Yeah, you can. Do you know, with who does it belong to? Let me go back to that. It's more the energy that you are when you ask it that shifts the energy. So this is what I mean by that. Like, so I have a headache today, right here. It's like right here and it's right here. And it's very intense. So I'm going to show you how I would use this. So I'm going to get present with the energy, and you'll notice that when you get present with something, your eyes will tend to go down. Do you ever notice how when you just sort of zone out, your eyes blur, they go into a soft focus? When you get present with something, your eyes will always go down. When you're thinking about something, your eyes will go up. So that's just a tip for when you're playing with these tools. Like, when I say get present, I mean, like, when you get present with something, you look from you're looking with different eyes. You go into perceiving rather than thinking. So I'm gonna get present with this energy in my head and just go, hey, who does this intensity belong to? Is it mine or someone else's? And that's how I play with it. I give myself 2 sets of words because there is one set of words that will always pop. And so when I ask, is it mine or someone else's, I get someone else's. Okay, I'm gonna take this a few steps further and show you how I'm going to use this. So it's someone else's. So I'm going to ask, okay, is that someone, does that someone have a body or not have a body? They don't have a body. So this is another thing about awareness, is you are going to have awareness of things that have to do with people in bodies and out of bodies. And that's just how that works, because we're surrounded by beings with bodies and without bodies. So, okay, cool. So this intensity in my head is awareness of someone without a body. So I'm also curious, just because I've been playing with entity stuff for a long time. Is it one entity or more than one entity? And it's more than one entity. Okay. So how many beings am I aware of? Whew. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go here because we're here. So when you're aware of a bunch of beings, the entity tools are to clear, communicate, and receive. Those are the 3 tools. Clear them, communicate with them, or receive from them. So I'm just going to ask some questions here. So how many of these beings want to be cleared? Wow. Okay, how many of these beings don't know that they don't have a body? And when you ask that question and it gets lighter, that means those beings that didn't know they didn't have a body left. So that's cool. How many of these beings want to be cleared? Okay, cool. So here's the entity clearing. So truth, who are you? Truth, who were you before that? 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 Truth, what's your job? Truth, what's your job before that? Truth, what was your job before that? Truth, what was your job before that? And truth, who will you be in the future? Wow. You can take all your magnetic imprinting and you can go now. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So that's the entity clearing. So it's definitely lighter. I still have this intensity in my head. So this is how I play with it. This is how I play with intensity. So I just go, so truth, is there something else there that I'm aware of? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, cool. So is it mine? No. Is it someone else's? No. Is it something else's? Yes. Is it the earth? Yes. Okay, that's how you ask questions. And that's like, I'm so glad that cleared stuff for you too. And I see your comments, you guys. I am reading them. I'm just trying to like not get so distracted. Something else. Okay, so that's the other thing about intensity in your body, is that it's the earth asking for a lot of contribution, and there's a lot of shit going on right now, right? And the earth is doing its thing. It's doing constant creation all the time. So now with all the human beings inside, did you guys see the article about Venice? Like the waters in Venice are actually clear for the first time and they don't even know how long. There's dolphins and swans and fish swimming in those waters. So I'm just going to ask, like, what contribution can my body and I be for the earth? And I'm going to open up a flow of energy from my body to the earth and from the earth into my body, and just like keep that flow open. And this isn't a thinking thing, it's just something you ask and it occurs. And is there more I'm aware of? Yes. Okay. So that's really how you play with who does it belong to. That's like the long version. Okay, that's the long, like extended version, that when something doesn't just shift with like, hey, who does this belong to, me or someone else? If it shifts with that, then just keep doing that. If it doesn't shift with that, you may need to ask a few more questions. Here's what happens with energy. When you finally acknowledge what it is, not why it is, not why it got created, because that shit, we don't know why it just does get created. What it is, it will lighten up. Everything fully acknowledged gets lighter. So that's why with who does it belong to, it works, because when you acknowledge that this thing that feels really intense in your body isn't actually yours, it goes, oh. And so your body doesn't try to hold on to it, doesn't try to understand it, doesn't try to heal it. It's just like, oh, it's not mine, never mind. So everything that doesn't allow us to be, know, perceive, and receive everything that we're aware of, and that we are aware with total ease, can we destroy and create all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And if that crazy statement is new to you, just go to theclearingstatement.com and you'll get a whole download of what that is. Okay. So that's a huge, huge, huge piece for where we're headed right now. People are going to be freaking out about money, about their stocks, about their jobs, about their revenue, about their bodies. There are people that are literally giving up their body in this thing. And I guess maybe that's awareness or information piece number 2 that I want to give you. Like, the thing about diseases is that diseases can only stay in someone's body, like stay and kill them, if that person has already chosen to go. Like, you can't actually be killed by something that you are in agreement with, basically, where you're like, yeah, you can take me. Like, so diseases are held in place by the person's point of view. And so it's like everywhere we're buying into, anywhere we're buying into the trauma and the drama of people dying, when people dying is a really natural thing and it's something people choose all the time. Can we destroy it and create all that? Wow. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. When you look at nature, when you look at the way the earth works, like, things die all the time. Leaves die, trees die, animals die. The circle of life is like predators eat other animals. Like, that's normal on planet Earth. There's somewhere in the world of people, where we have made people dying significant and bad and wrong. And I know in North America, in the medical community, it's like doctors' only job is to keep people alive. It's not to be curious or ask questions or wonder when that person wants to go. It's like to keep them alive is their mandate. So is that actually kind to a body or in a being that wants to go? No. So everywhere we are disempowering other people by buying into the significance of death, can we please destroy and create all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. You guys might have seen my impromptu live where I like had a vodka bottle and I ranted for a bit. My third set of tools that I will never leave home without is the bodywork and the bars of access consciousness, which does require you to not distance yourself. It needs another person. But if you don't have another person right now, you can actually run them on yourself. And the way that I run bars on myself is I don't do all the points, okay? I literally will touch my implant band, which is right here behind your ear. And this is not a bars video, and I will ask 2 other bars to run. So you've got 32 points. So you can touch your implant band and you've got 2 other bars to run. And that will defrag and give your body space to actually create the immunity that your body is capable of. And the second body process is MTVSS, which stands for Molecular Terminal Valence Sloughing System. And you can run that on yourself too. And the immune system points are the third eye and the thymus. MTVSS, run. MTVSS and all the rest, run, is how you do this. And then you run it on your liver and spleen, which is like right here, right underneath your rib cage. And then your kidneys on the backside. And if you guys have a partner or you have somebody else with hands in the house, you can just say, hey, listen, will you say these words and put your hands here and let them run that on you? And those are the immune system points, and those will strengthen your immune system more than anything else. And the fourth tool that I really, really, really want to talk about today is another one that's like one of my favorites, and it's interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Because again, going back to the beginning of this video, like there's so many different points of view about this. And I have found myself even resisting and reacting to some of the stuff, which doesn't actually work, guys. Resisting and reacting to virus is as bad as aligning and agreeing with it. Like, it just sticks it all in place. So the antidote to all of this fixed point of view and freak out and energies is not just moving up to the top of a mountain, which would be fun. It is being and choosing interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And you're gonna have to do this a lot with people that are talking about the virus. Like, I actually had to tell a couple of my people to say, hey, can you not message me about virus stuff anymore? Because I was having to do so much interesting point of view. I'm just like, you know what? I trust me. I know I'm aware. I know that I will choose what works for me and my body. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And that's how you use it. You do not have to close your eyes, but sometimes I do to get present. So do whatever it takes, because again, it's about the energy of interesting point of view and the energy of your presence. That's what changes things. Everything we talk about in Access Consciousness is about changing the energies of things. And later on today, I'm going to be going live with my piano and inviting you to like 28 days from Friday through, I don't even know, 28 days past Friday, every day we're going to get together and we are going to transmute energies and pull energies, and we're going to create during this time of quarantine. Because the only things, we just buy energies as real. So it's like when you're super aware of a lot of financial trouble and you feel like all of a sudden like you've got financial trouble and you have no idea where that's coming from. That's your awareness of the collective doing financial trouble. When you feel freaked out or you're feeling anxious or da-da-da, that's your awareness of beings with bodies and without bodies doing freak out over a thing. So all of these tools is about taking a set of energies and transmuting it into a different possibility. And when you receive a point of view about anything, when there's a lot of them flying around right now, and you're like, interesting point of view, I have this point of view, you literally take that solid mass of energy and it goes, and you'll perceive it when it does. If you're just doing the tool, if you're just talking the tool, it won't do that thing. But if you're being the tool while you're using the words, which just means you're getting present with that solid energy and it's going like this, then you'll notice the change, okay? I guess the fifth thing I really want to talk to you is this energy pull free on YouTube or a paid course? Due to the virus, I can't spend money on courses right now. I'm going to do 3 free ones so you can have those and then it's paid. But I believe I'm taking $100 off the price. So if you're not on my email list, maybe get on my email list. Go to ChrystelJoyCrawford.com and get on my list. It's going to be $100 off after today. So yeah. The fifth thing I want to talk about is really listening to yourself. Okay. So sort of circling back around to where I started the video from with like, I was scheduled to travel for 4 weeks, starting Monday. So today's Wednesday in real time. On Monday, I was scheduled to travel to Mauritius, Cape Town, the Netherlands, and the UK. And it was so weird because I was actually just in South Africa doing some live classes, and I was looking at this upcoming stretch of travel, and it was feeling so heavy to me. I decided that it was heavy because I wanted to be home and I wanted to be here. I really love being home. Turns out it was heavy because I was aware. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about listening to your body when it comes to like going places or not going places, because I heard Gary Douglas talk about how he had this agreement with the universe, or it was probably with himself in his own body actually, to always be out of town when disaster strikes. He's like, I understand Earth that, we're gonna have to do a lot of disasters for all of this to change, viruses included. Can you just make sure that I'm out of town when they occur? And I was like, yes, that's the brilliant thing. And so with this upcoming travel, I kept looking at it and I was like, hold, don't cancel it until somebody messaged me. And I'm like, okay, is now the time to actually make the changes? If I had made the changes previous to that time, it would have created something else. But because I waited, I changed them in time. So I'm no longer traveling. I'm doing an online foundation on April 17th through the 20th that you guys can now join from anywhere in the world, from the comfort of your own home, quarantine foundation. And, but it was me listening to myself about when to what. And sometimes it's challenging because the when is not clearly defined, right? It's like, well, you just know it's not now, and it's not now, and it's not now. And you're like, well, when? And I can't seem to open my mouth about this, and I can't seem to go anywhere, and I can't, okay. But that's you listening to yourself. And I really want to encourage you to listen to yourself. The more volatile things become, the more required it is for us to truly cultivate listening to ourselves. And you'll just know if you allow yourself to know, if you don't override and try to force what you think you should do in favor of what you can't seem to do. Okay. So like when you think you should go to the store and you can't seem to get out of the house and you just keep, listen to yourself and don't go to the store. When you think you should, I have no idea, run an errand, when you think you should pick this person up, when you think you should travel, when you think you should whatever, listen to yourself and don't override it, and just tell whoever the fuck needs to hear whatever the fuck they need to hear in order to create a different reality for yourself. And that is going to be the thing that leads you to places where you can thrive. Okay, and everything I'm talking about is you using your unseen skills. We've got the five senses, which are the proof that we're aware, but you have your being, your knowing, your perceiving, and your receiving. And it's at times like these that you can choose to strengthen those, and you can choose to really, really, really function from the elements of intimacy with you, which is honoring you, trusting you, knowing, being an allowance of you, and just being vulnerable enough to go, yeah, this is okay, cool. I'm just going to listen. Okay. The greatest gift of access for me has been giving me access to that I know. I know. And you know. You always know. You always know what, you always know when. It's just you don't have the words for it and you don't have the proof for it. Okay? I love you too, Michael. So, what energy, space, and consciousness can we and our bodies be to be, know, perceive, and receive everything we've refused to be, know, perceive, and receive? And everything that doesn't allow that times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, podpoc, all nine shirts, boys and beyonds. Okay? Yeah. So what's left now is to create. And there's, in every big shift, it doesn't matter what the shift is, in every disaster, there are new possibilities that open up. And I've been walking around the neighborhoods and walking around the businesses in my block and just wondering and looking and wondering about my business and how it's going to shift, going, I wonder what's opening up that I can now jump into and take advantage of and be the expert in, or contribute. What do I know that can contribute to the change that this is creating? Because this is going to change entire economies. This is going to change entire cities and villages. Businesses that can't afford to be closed for 2 weeks are going to be closed after this, right? This is going to change the trajectory of millions of people's futures. And we can either be on the thud edge of that, or we can be on the creative edge of that. And the how is just starting to wonder, just wondering about what's changing, wondering about what's going on, wondering about how you can be on the leading edge. One of the things that I've been trying to create, I've been aware of, has been wanting to be created for a long time. For about 4 years, I've been aware that there's a wellness program that includes bars that needs to go into corporations. And I've been getting bits and pieces of it over the last 4 years, and I've been trying to make it go and having conversations here and having bits of conversations here, and I got the name for it last year, and I got a bit of information over here. And this year in South Africa, I got, now's the time. Now's the time to actually go into corporations with this program. It's going to be called Innovative Workplace Wellness Solutions, and I'm going to be training consultants to take it into corporations where they live. So if that's something that you'd like to be a part of and you'd like to be trained by us to take this into corporations, you can message me and let me know, because I've just started developing it. But when you look at a worldwide pandemic and what that creates for corporations, and what would really need to be required for the future, for their people to be well, for their business to do well, is now the time. Yes. And that's an example of staying aware and staying present with your ideas and going, wait a minute, is now the time, right? Always getting that our reality is quicksand. And that's the reality of the world. Everything's fucking quicksand. Everything's changing all the time. It's just sometimes it becomes global news. So now everything's changing. So now how can you be on the creative edge, the leading edge of where things are going and what you already are, that you can be a gift to now and in the future, that can expand your world, the world, and everybody's lives. So what gift are you that you haven't yet received the fortune of? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, will you destroy it and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, podpoc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So stay calm. Yes, Trevor. Yes, yes, yes. Stay calm. Run your bars if you have no one to do it for you. If you have people in your house, please run MTVSS on each other. Please use your tools. Who does it belong to? Is it mine? Someone else's? Something else's? Something else is always the earth. And what would it take for us to be the space of possibilities that the earth and the world requires right now? And what gift are we that we can now choose to be? I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful we're here together. I'm so grateful for this. And if this contributed to you and you know some people that could use some peace and ease and tools, will you please share this with them? Let's be the gift that we are, and let's change the world.